What's going on, everybody? It's the Super Robot, and I've been trying to rack my brain around how I'm going to do this review. So what do we have in front of you here? We have on the left, we have Studio Series 86 Scrapper. In the middle, we have Make Toys Devastator, or version Devastator, or Green Giant. And on the right, we have Studio Series 86 Bone Crusher. Now, as you know, I didn't review these right away. They showed up in a few of my reviews because, I was still playing with them and getting acclimated with them. And I wanted to see if other people really saw the glaring issues that we are having with these figures over all of the other combiner figures that we have now. This is basically just shrunk down Combiner Wars. At $34.99, all I got was a gun and this figure, and I was told to believe that we needed this to cost more because if we convince ourselves that it costs more, then it's gonna, oh yeah, well, it has to be heavy. It's no more heavier than this guy. It is not. So miss me with the plastic shit. And normally I haven't been cursing in my videos, but I've really been mad about these two because we're gonna get 4 more that are gonna be the same thing. They don't do this and they don't do that. And we're gonna accept it because we want a Devastator. Well, this is the one time to my third-party people that always come in here shouting, if there was a much more up-to-date third-party option, I would go for that. Hasbro let us down with this, and they're hiding the truth. These figures are inferior, and you all and myself are contributing to this farce. Because as long as we say the good things, we don't got to worry about the shadow bans. But today, I am angry because I had to sit down and look at these two all day at my desk because I had them out debating whether I'm going to do this or not. And we are now 5 minutes into the intro. Man, we ain't even going to do cuts today. Let's get this. Well, we'll do a couple of cuts, but we're going to take him down first and take him off, and then we'll come back because I'm going to put them back in the Devastator mode. I got to remember how to disconnect his leg. I've done this in a while. I think it's a little thing back here. There we go. All right. But I will pause for the cost, and I do have to do a few things to get them back. And of course, we'll always be back in 2 and 2. All right, we're back by YouTube Magic, and we have the Make Toys versions of Bone Crusher and Scrapper in their vehicle modes. And we're going to just do a quick comparison. This is, it's like apples and oranges here. So over here we have Scrapper, and I think I forgot to latch that part on. All right, got that. So over here we have the Hasbro version of Scrapper, and over here we have Make Toy Scrapper. Now, Make Toy Scrapper, I'm not going to make any excuses for them. They could have went this route. But these came out at a time where we were in Chug, and Chug, they weren't, faithful to G1, but they were like a reinterpretation of G1. That's really what Chug was. Okay, Classics, Henkei, Universe, United, Generations. They were all interpretations of G1. We got better when we got to the modern era, but during that time they were all interpretations. So this is in the same vein. This is an interpretation of what Scrapper could look like using an alternate vehicle mode. Not my favorite Scrapper. I think of the set, Scrapper has always been my least favorite. Because, when we get to robot mode, you'll see why. Comparatively, he is a little bit lighter. This is from 2012 now, guys. This is 2012 plastic. This is not, different materials, and they probably, this is a third party. So the early days of third party were a different thing. And you can kind of feel it where this has a different type of plastic, but it's still very good quality, But this one does feel a lot denser, but it does have that like soft feel. This feels more like sharp is the word I want to use. It's very sharp feeling plastic. I'm going to put these over here. And next we're going to show off Bone Crusher versus Bone Crusher. And as you can see here, this is Bone Crusher and this is Make Toys Bone Crusher. Now the difference is that, of course, he has black treads. He has the, green treads to match the color of the bot. He actually has the Turek scoop. Same thing in the front. This borrows its molds from actually the RID Constructicons, mainly Grimlock. For both Scavenger, their version of Scavenger and the Bone Crusher, that's what they use. And yeah, they both feel about the same, but this, like I said, this just feels more, like I said, like I don't know, it's crazy how this plastic feels versus this. But this is newer. And this is actually gonna be durable, more durable than this. So, and as you can see here, they're really not, they're just interpretation. This is more interpretation. This is definitely more G1. Everybody's asking me which one I like. I don't really like the alt modes on Green Giant. I bought Green Giant for the combined mode because it didn't have a Devastator that fit in with the rest of my toys. That's why. So we compared the vehicle modes. After that, we're going to get them in the robot mode. And then, of course, we're going to review that. And of course, always, we'll be back in 2 and 2. All right, we're back by YouTube Magic. And we have both Bone Crushers in ARM mode. Now, this is pretty much going to be what we have when you don't have the parts from the long haul hook set. So you're pretty much going to be doing this here. And the way that it swivels is going to swivel against the treads. So the treads will be hooked in like this along the sides. There's like a railing that'll be hooked in there. And then the arm will swivel just like that. Now, with the Make Toys version, it does it the old way where the treads actually will all move with the arm as it goes and it bends here. But this part right here, of course, once you put it in, and you can kind of angle it out if you want. You can actually get it to hang off like that, if you want to, but you probably don't want to. So you just kind of put it back into the position that you want it in. The only thing I hate about the Make Toys version is it's old. And yeah, the plastic quality is, getting to that point. So you do have to be careful with that. These are the arms. Now we're going to show off the legs real quick. To the left will be Scrapper. To the right will be Make Toys. Now they are the same heights. Now you'll notice here from the back that the arms fold here to form, the leg, and these fold up. Now with him, they will plug into here. And thus he has this part that helps to keep him steady. Now the weight is not heavy on this figure. They're all not light. They're normal size, like what we used to get years ago. But what I've noticed is that they're saying that this needs to be heavier. And as you can see right here, there could have been an option for a waist swivel. So I don't buy it. I don't buy it. This is not, if this was supposed to be $34.99 and all you gave me was this and a gun, this thing should be like a brick. It's not. It's light, just like its counterparts. It's not any different. So I don't know what they're trying to pull on us, but it's not. It's not any heavier than this. So this is not worth $34.99. All right, it's the same thing. Same legs. Look at this now. You go. You look at that. That's what they are. You know what I'm saying? So where's the heavy plastic? Okay. From here, we're going to go ahead and do the reviews of the robot mode, and then we'll get the final results. And of course, we'll always be back in 2 and 2. All right, we're back by YouTube Magic, and let's talk about the first two. We'll go in alphabetical order. On the left is Make Toys Bone Crusher. On the right is the Hasbro official Bone Crusher. Now, you'll notice if you are familiar with molds that this mold borrows from the RID 2001 Grimlock. The one that turns into like the excavator scavenger. Both him and their version of Scavenger have the exact same legs, and these legs, this type of legs, were on the, that version of the toy. So they did kind of look at some of Hasbro's engineering, but they turned the legs here at the back and gave you this nice little strut to keep them sturdy. Now he is hollow, but not all the way hollow, just at the bottom of the legs right here, because the struts have to go in there. And when you turn the legs around, you get feet swivel. Now you notice that there's some white stuff on him. Don't say anything stupid, you'll get deleted. However, this is because I had to glue him back together. That's right. He split when putting the head. This head came out. It's on like a, ball joint with a thing. And the back right here just came and almost split down the middle. Scared me to death. I had to actually get the super glue out, and well, it fixed itself, so it's good. But you know, a figure kind of officially ruined. But the plastic tolerances in certain areas are very weak on these figures. And if you do decide to say, "Hey, I hate Hasbro," and go with Green Giant, remember, Green Giant is now officially almost 15 years old. It's 13 years old because this came out in 2012. All right. So we'll put that back there, and I'm not going to go into detail. I already reviewed him once, but he has all the amenities of a modern Transformer. He has weight swivel, but you do have to kind of move this very similar to him if you want to get a weight swivel. So now we're going to go over Bone Crusher. He's really, Bone Crusher's Bone Crusher. We got to talk about that. So let's look at the head sculpt first. Very G1 head sculpt, chest and everything. Articulation, the arm goes to here, and he's got an elbow joint, and he's got these little stubby arms. He's got a very chubby looking body. Here is the back of the figure, which is clean. He does have feet swivel, but the legs are a little too short, and it makes him look stumpy. And I don't like that. And they didn't do that with the last version. The last version was actually better. And if you got Unite Warriors, you got yourself a treat. This is inferior to Unite Warriors. Because if you're not going to count the waist swivel and the extra feet swivel, and proportion-wise, this looks inferior to Combiner Wars. And I wanted, listen, I wanted so bad for that not to be, but truth of the matter is, it is. The only way that you can get a waist swivel out of this guy is either, pull this down, and you got to pull it down again, and you got a waist swivel. And that's the only way you're going to get a waist swivel. Which would have been cooler is to just take all of this out of here and take this part of the chest and just have it tab in at the top, and then you could have had it, turn. Very, very sloppy, very, very terrible engineering, very cheap. This feels inferior. This was, it's not right. I'm sorry. I just can't. And the thing is, I'm going to have to buy it. Then we're not done. Because, a matter of fact, I'm not doing any stopping. I'm not doing any pause. I don't want to spend too much time on this thing. Because I got to turn him back into Devastator one more time, which takes forever transforming the next two. So now we got Scrapper from the Make Toys, and we got Scrapper from the, as what we would call it, Studio Series. Now, official Hasbro one, he is Scrapper. I love the way he looks. This is Scrapper. This is the leader of the Constructicons. He's the one that does the roll call every time. He's like, Constructicons, transform, phase 1. Constructicons, transform, phase 2. And they turn to Devastator. And he does have that iconic look. To me, is he better than Unite Warriors or Combiner Wars? No. No waist swivel. It's the same toy. The only difference is he has feet swivel, which I think, no, they didn't have feet swivel. But other than that, why did they not give him waist swivel? Because he's supposed to be a leg and he's supposed to be like this super dense toy. He's not dense. But then the Make Toys version always looked kind of weird to me. It's like, I don't think his head sculpt is so dark. Like, you gotta really turn up the brightness just to see it. You know what I mean? Like, you literally, because his head sculpt is so dark. You know what I'm saying? I don't even think I can focus on it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm at 2.2. So we're gonna bring this back to 4.5. All right. So he's different. His liberties are different. It's just, like I said, it was in tandem to Chug. Chug was the, law of the land. This is an interpretation of what Scrapper will look like. And there's some things I don't like because you can't really tell if you have the chest correct or not. And because of this, it blocks everything. So it's like, because this is one piece, it doesn't give that look like he does. And I prefer this look, but I want to show you something. This is 2012 engineering. And even what they did by folding into panels, I think that's pretty good. He had a waist swivel. Oh, did he have a waist swivel? Yeah, he's got a waist swivel. Yep. See? And he's a leg. And there's no help me part. So what's going on, Hasbro? What's going on, Hasbro? This is 2012. Why do you not have a waist swivel on a figure in 2025? Why are we still accepting mediocrity in 2025? I mean, is to make Toy's version better? Sculpt wise, no. I don't like that look. But if he had looked close to this, yeah, because I really do base my Constructicons on one figure, Scrapper. I love Scrapper. Scrapper's one of my favorites. I just love the way he looks. And, you know, I just like him. So let's go ahead and get everybody back out. And yeah, so on the left, we got Make Toys. On the right is Hasbro. And I gotta say, you know, Hasbro still gives me the look. But these need again, they needed to go back to the drawing board. Let's just do the review. Let's end this, man. All right, so let me just be blunt. Let me just be clear. We've got to stop accepting anything from the company that's officially making Transformers. We've been sitting here glossing, gloating, going crazy, happy to have SS86 Constructicons that, you know, whether you want them to be a scale with your figures or not, you know, we were excited, but now that I got them in hand, they're the worst of the figures that I've gotten in 2025. And this is supposed to be that set. This is supposed to be that set that's going to basically, like, you know, be our definitive SS86, you know, Studio Series 86. And it's not. In my opinion, I want better. We can get better, and we deserve better. And Hasbro dropped the ball on these figures in the guise of just, I don't know. I mean, you can't tell me that this is, you know, it's inferior. This should not happen. We should not go backwards. We're going backwards. It doesn't make sense. It does not make sense. You can't justify this not having a waist swivel. There's no excuse for that. You're going to tell me if he had a waist swivel, he's going to fall apart? What the kind of nonsense are y'all talking, man? And everybody's caping for these constructions. Yes, I'm going to buy all 6. Yes, I'm going to make the Devastator because that's also why we're buying it. And, you know, I do like it the way it looks. It looks a lot cleaner. But, you know, I don't know. I don't have them yet, so I can't say anything. But the individual bots did not get the proper due. They suffered from whatever monetary budget was placed upon them. And knowing how hot button ticket is, why can't we just get the full Monty? This is supposed to be Studio Series 86, and we're getting this because of this. Because because these can't do certain things because they combine. Hasbro, man, look, man, you done took my money for stuff I don't even like because I'm trying to get to what I want. And what I really want is just to have a decent Devastator on the shelf. That's all. So I ain't gonna take too much of your time. What are your thoughts? Leave them down in the comments below. It's Super Robot everywhere news reveals. So then we'll see you soon. Bye bye. I'm highly disappointed.